Welcome to Dobby's Repairs. I'm Dobby the Fixing Elf, and this is What's in My Toolbox, the series where I show you the tools I use to repair cars and fix things. So let's find out what's in my toolbox today. Under this instalment, we have this auto jack 3/8 drive oiled sump drain socket set. So it's the ODS18 is the product number. It comes in a lovely metal case, as you can see here. Be quite nice. And inside we have a selection of different sockets, as well as a little breaker bar. So let's talk about the breaker bar first. It's actually called a power bar. There's a nice little short comfort grip breaker bar that gives you a decent amount of leverage. It's got this rather handy little feature where you can put it up straight, so when after you've broken your sump loose, you can run it down like that, and it's fairly decent. I actually found myself reaching for this quite a fair bit just for breaking loose some stubborn fasteners, because you can use it with your regular 3/8 drive socket. So this is just a 15mm. And you pop it on there like that. You can use it with regular and easy normal socket, as well as the sockets that come with the set. Quite a bit of reflection in the metal case there as well. Didn't notice that, but we do it. So yeah, very handy for that. Yeah, you just break stuff loose, and then when you break it loose, you can run it down like that, which is all pretty good. So pull that out, and then we'll talk about the sockets themselves. We have a vast variety of sockets in here. It also comes, like I said, in this lovely metal case. It's a nice little blow moulded tray that you can lift out, and then everything drops out. Because that one's broken. Not everything drops out, just the one. And yes, you can lift the tray out if you need to, and put it in your toolbox. I quite like it in the metal case. And yeah, so we'll start with the socket that fell out first. This is your 8mm hex, and this covers a vast majority of different vehicles. And then we have a lovely 9mm hex, and then we also have a 10mm hex, and then a 12. I believe it's a 14, yep. And this big old 17mm hex, which is quite big really. Very good for setting sump plugs. You get it in there, you give it a tap with a hammer from behind, you want to break it loose. Because sometimes sump plugs can be done way too tight, a lot tighter they need to be. And another good feature about these is because they're all 3/8 drive, like this lovely little one which is 10mm square. So you put that on the square end, and then you break it loose with this end. Again, I said this is 3/8 drive, so it's pretty good. And you pop this on, and you get yourself on a nice little socket there. And yeah, you do break loose fairly easily and fairly well, but it's quite good. Obviously, get some more of the specialist sockets. The only ones that you normally use for setting oil changes are like a T45 or a M6 triple square or spline. It doesn't come with those, but it comes with a lot of other different sockets that aren't commonly available. Like this lovely little triangle one, which is used for Renaults, or at least that's how I've used it on. A lot of Renaults use this style. Yeah, they just go on and break them loose. And nothing worse when you're trying to break sump loose, you're trying to do an oil change on a car that you've never done an oil change on before, you don't know what socket in here. Not having the right socket makes it very difficult. This certainly helps with that. It covers a massive variety of different things. We've also got some other square ones, so we have a lovely 40mm square here. And in case you don't know, some sump plugs are square rather than hex. So we've got the 40mm, which is this one here. You can see there is a big difference between a hex and a square. Being 40mm, are roughly the same size, but you could use this in this one, or you could use that one in this one, vice versa, so it's useful to have the right size. I know some people just say 4 something on there, but it's not ideal, especially when you're doing sump plugs. You want to make sure they're tight into the correct torque, and that's another good feature about these, because the 3/8 drive, I'm using my 3/8 drive torque wrench, which is also from Auto Jack, funny enough, which is the first Auto Jack tool I bought. I'll put a link to it in the description. And yeah, this one overall has a lot of different varieties. Let's finish off with sockets though. So we talked about the 40mm square, we also have a 7mm, then we have a lovely 12, 11 and 10, as well as a 13mm, an 8mm, which is probably my most used one. A lot of vehicles I seem to use, especially on like gearbox, differentials and stuff like that. Always seem to be 8mm square. especially on like the French cars. And we have a 5/16 as well, and a 3/8 square drive, which is quite handy, as you can also use it as a little extender extension. It doesn't hold on, but like sometimes you can get a little bit of extra reach. You pop that in the back, and very handy for that. You just 3/8 to 3/8, just gives you a little tiny extension. Sometimes that's all you need. And yeah, overall there's a lot of different variety in this set, and some really useful features. And like I said, I found this bar very useful for stuff, and it's quite a nice little thing to use. It's got a very nice detent here. I don't know if you can hear that on the camera, but it really does hold in there fairly securely. So when you're doing this with it, it will come out fairly simply and fairly easily. And useful for running out the fasteners, and you can do it so you don't get oil on your hand if you're careful. You can like adjust it just like that, and you just make it a bit more difficult. But you can do it so you don't get the oil on your hands, especially that gearbox oil, because that stuff stinks to high heaven. And then you just find it's all over the place. You can also use like a sump tool, like I've shown you before on this, like a magnetic one. I'll put a link to that video too in the description. And yeah, these are remarkably useful and really handy, and this bar itself has come in extremely handy for stuff, and that's pretty handy. Before we move on to the final thoughts though, I just want to quickly say that this week marks the 3-year anniversary of me starting to produce channels with them. So you'll see a special video coming out tomorrow if you're watching this at time of release, on Tuesday the 14th of October 2025. If you're watching this later on, then the video will be out, so check that out. But yeah, moving on to my final thoughts now. This is a really handy little set of sump plugs. The amount of different vehicles it covers is really useful. You can cover anything from BMWs down to your Renaults and your Odysseys, your weird ones that you don't really expect. And obviously most of the cars covered. Obviously you are missing the T45, which is quite common, especially unlike, I think of off the top of my head, a Suzuki uses a T45 drain plug, and also a Chevrolet, I believe it's a Cruise. I think we've done on the oil change done that out of T45. But yeah, you also got your simple ones, and then to your more obscure ones. You've got such a variety, and obviously the Volkswagens and thing would use the spline socket. But overall this is quite a good set, and I'm going to give it a 4-spanner rating because I really enjoyed using it. I found it really handy and really useful, and yeah, it makes doing oil changes, draining gearbox oils and all them sort of jobs fairly simple and straightforward. So that's why I gave it the score I have. And yeah, overall it's not a bad little set. I highly recommend picking up. The case itself is really good. I do like a metal case. I definitely gave it the credit it deserves, but a metal case is extremely handy. Just makes it a bit different as well, better than blow molded plastic. Because if you don't want to use it for this set, if you want to take the set out, you can make a little toolbox out of it. Take a few little tools in the car. I'm going to keep all this together like this, so I know where it all is. And yeah, overall, that's everything. If you want to look for a decent drain plug set, pick this up. It's really useful, really handy, and does a great job. And a huge shout out to my fixing club members, Mako, Rodney and Jason. Thank you very much for your support. You help me make videos like this and many more. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful or entertaining, don't forget to hit that like button. It really helps both the channel and me out. If you're new here, consider subscribing. I post 2 videos a week, so by subscribing, you'll never miss a thing. Got any questions or suggestions? Drop a comment down below, and I'll do my best to reply to everyone. Here at Dobby Repairs, we're all about helping you learn how to work on your vehicle safely and showing you don't need to spend a fortune on tools to get the job done. Want to support the channel further? Become a member, starting at just 99p. Members get perks like early access to videos and more exclusive content. Keep fixing, and I'll see you in the next one.